Holy shit. He said what?
Many people out there have been speculating on that Meghan Markle has lied about her age. Is she actually older?
Meghan was born, and she was born as a C-section, so she was put in my arm. I was the first person to hold her. Her little hand went around my fingers like that.
It's really quite sad.
So picture this. You are sitting at a family dinner, and out of nowhere, someone just blurts something wild, like they could not even hold it in, and everyone just freezes looking around like, wait, did that really just happen?
You 6 years older than you tell people.
Thomas had Meghan with his second wife, Doria.
Like, seriously, that is not some boring small talk at all. That is pretty much exactly what Meghan Markle's dad just pulled, and it got everyone talking, like, oh wow, did he really say that?
Her childhood was with me.
And the funny part is, he did not keep it low while passing the mashed potatoes. He went ahead and dropped it right in front of the whole world like a giant mic drop moment.
I got it through high school. I got it through college.
Okay, so before you start rolling your eyes thinking, oh no, here we go again with another royal mess, let me spill the tea, because this one is actually kind of different and not the usual drama.
I remember when she was born, big new addition to the family, and we just have a very young sister here.
This time, it is not about shiny crowns or fancy palaces or even that whole bridesmaid dress crying drama. Nope, this is on a totally different level.
No, I just made a little mark on my board and said, oh, there's another lie, click.
This one is way more juicy. It is about numbers and dates and receipts, the type of mess where even your old math teacher would be like, hey, let me check that too.
It's one of my favorite pictures. I'd like to have that experience with my granddaughter.
So Thomas Markle, chilling in Rosarito, Mexico, just stared into the camera, all calm, and dropped the line like Meghan's math is not making sense at all.
And there was something, in my opinion, missing in their eyes. It didn't seem real to me.
And just like that, folks all over started flipping through old magazines, digging up alumni pics, and even pulling out dusty yearbooks like they turned into little Sherlock Holmes. Some people say it's petty, some swear it's proof, but everybody agrees it's super entertaining.
I've lost my dad in this, so him as my father-in-law was really important to me.
I don't know of anybody that cold to do this.
And here comes the real kicker. If what Thomas is saying has even a tiny bit of truth, then Meghan's perfect royal fairy tale might not be so perfect anymore. Like, trimming a few years off your Hollywood age is one thing, but doing it while stepping into the British royal family is such a wild twist. Even Netflix would never think of it.
She delivered it like an actress delivered it.
But apparently for me, that doesn't matter.
So get ready, because if you thought The Crown was intense, this tea is even heavier. Like, imagine flipping through those old glossy teen mags with silly Spice Girl quizzes and glitter lip gloss ads, and then boom, you see something weird. Right there on page 90 of 17 magazine, March 1997, it says Meghan Markle, age 21, and everyone online just lost it because, hello? If she was born in 1981 like the palace keeps saying, then in 1997 she should have been only sweet 16, not 21. That is a whole 6-year jump, the kind of math fail that would get you stuck in detention forever.
This is a copy of 17 magazine, and it was published in March of 1997. In it, it mentions our Megzy from Los Angeles and that she was 21 years old at the time of publication. That would make her birth year at around 1976.
And here is where it gets even juicier, because this is not some random gossip blog making stuff up. This came straight from a real printed magazine, the kind your mom probably shoved in a box next to old VHS tapes. And like, you can't just Photoshop paper, you can't edit ink. This is library microfilm level receipts, and suddenly, Meghan's timeline starts looking like a roller coaster drawn by someone blindfolded. Now, maybe it was a typo or a silly misprint, or maybe the first little breadcrumb of a royal cover-up. No one really knows. But what is certain is if your age on record does not match what shows up in a teen magazine, then girl, you just opened the door to a scandal that TikTok detectives will eat alive. And of course, they went all in. And if that magazine's slip-up was just the appetizer, then Thomas Markle's next bomb was the main course. Because sitting back like a man who has watched too many wild family soap plots, he straight up said, "The Meghan the palace shows off is not the Meghan he remembers raising." He started pointing out birthdays that don't match milestones that feel like they were staged, and a timeline that shifts around like a Netflix doc that keeps dropping new twists. And honestly, it makes you feel like you switched from a serious royal documentary to a full-on Jerry Springer Palace edition.
Thomas Jr. was 14 when Meghan came into the world.
Well, that's her first wedding in Jamaica.
Okay, so picture a dad sounding tired and mad like he is grounding the whole royal family. And even if you don't fully believe him, his words add fire, because this is not some stranger. It is her dad waving papers and pointing at gaps. And then boom, people remember how in 2019, Archie's papers suddenly changed. One day, it had Rachel Meghan Markle, and the next day, it was gone, replaced with only her royal title, like a sneaky wiki edit. And if they can tweak a baby paper like that, then who knows what else? And that is why folks say this feels less like royal history and more like a messy reality show.
I do love you, and I wish we could sit down and talk about it.
So Hollywood runs on coffee Botox, and the idea that lying about age is normal, like picking oat milk and casting folks. Don't ask if you can act. They ask if you can look 25. So when people say Meghan cut 6 years off, it kind of makes sense. Because in auditions, being 30 plus against fresh grads is rough. But if you slide into the 20s, you get the fun roles. And since she was hustling before crowns, it feels like survival in a world where birthdays are expiry dates. And if that fib later grew into royal drama, well, that's a twist no one saw coming.
Meghan Markle has nothing.
Someday Meghan's going to realize that she's obviously missing out.
I think when I was 30, if I thought about 50, I thought that is an awful long way away. And I don't really need to think about it. And then I blinked and I'm 50. That's crazy.
Why are we still here? Just to suffer.
The 2018 royal wedding was hyped as a fairy tale, with Meghan sold as a glowing 36-year-old bride. But if she was really closer to 42, then that shiny story looks more like clever PR, because mid-30s sounds inspiring. But 40s change the vibe, and when her Northwestern alumni photos showed classmates now in their mid-50s, people wondered, was she just hanging with older friends, or actually one of them?
Has she made any attempt to contact your father since he had his stroke?
None whatsoever.
Social media went wild, zooming in on reunion pics and turning them into court-style evidence. Critics say it proves she is older. Fans say it's just friends, aging different. But one awkward photo can spark endless threads. Soon, Reddit, TikTok, and X all joined in with edits, memes, and side-by-side clippings. And once, the internet makes you a puzzle. Every scrap looks like proof. And then alumni rosters showed up too, with her birth year written as 1976 instead of 1981. And suddenly, boring school papers looked like secret royal scrolls.
Joshua Silverstein was her very first boyfriend. They were both only 30.
Internet detectives pulled out those old rosters and flashed them like hidden treasure maps, saying they had proof of the crown's biggest secret. And yes, some people argue rosters can be full of typos or lazy mistakes. But for conspiracy hunters, every scribble that says 1977 feels like a golden ticket. Another reason to scream, aha, caught you, and like that one slip turns into crumbs. The crumbs form a trail, and suddenly the palace looks like the biggest age-fudging machine in history. And even if it is not solid proof, the court of public opinion treats a pile of sloppy papers like they are written in stone. And that is where the chaos comes from. It is not one giant smoking gun. It is 1,000 whispers stacking up. And now inside Buckingham Palace, the whispers are louder than teapots. Staff are upset not so much about the papers themselves, but because the whole story is spinning out of control. The royals love fairy tale, polish, shiny gowns, stiff waves, and perfect family smiles. But this age scandal is like throwing glitter all over a royal banquet. Everyone sees the mess, and there is no way to sweep it quietly. And still, the palace stays totally completely silent. No comments, no clarifications, not even the polite line of, "We don't discuss personal matters." Just an awkward silence, like waiting for a carriage that never shows. And the irony is, by saying nothing, they have turned a small rumor into a massive show. People are even comparing this silence to the disaster of the Prince Andrew interview, where ignoring things made it explode 10 times worse. And while aides stomp around behind the scenes, the public wonders if the royals cannot fact-check a simple birthday. Then how can they manage a crown? And the twist of all twists is that Meghan herself has not said a single word, not a statement, not a denial, not even a casual that is silly from her team.
There's nothing original here.
I hope you're having the best birthday you've ever had. Thank you for everything.
Which is really such a
Nothing at all. And in a time where celebs clap back at trolls faster than you can refresh your feed, Meghan staying quiet feels louder than a full press event. Some fans say it is smart because why feed gossip when ignoring it makes her look above the drama, but critics think it looks shady, like slipping out of the room while the smoke alarm is screaming. And of course, the internet is jumping in to fill the silence, spinning theories thicker than a Netflix doc. So while the internet argues, Meghan just keeps doing her podcasts, her charity gigs, and her Hollywood mingling like the age drama is happening on another planet. And the funny part is, by saying nothing, she lets people make up their own story about her saint or schemer, depending on who is looking. And that silence keeps her name buzzing longer than any statement could. And that takes us to the big question. Can we even trust the royal version of truth? Because if something as basic as a birthday feels shaky, then what else in the royal fairy tale has been polished for show? The monarchy has always survived on shiny myths, crowns, glittering bloodlines, perfect birthdays with cannons. But if Meghan's timeline is off, then it pokes a hole in that glossy balloon. Like finding out your favorite fairy tale character lied about their age on a dating app, and once people start doubting one detail, they doubt everything. Was the romance really natural? Were those photo ops real, or just staged? The crown runs on trust, not just tradition. And if that cracks, the whole story feels less magical and way more human. Without solid trust, those glittering tiaras stop looking magical and start looking like props in an expensive theater show. And if people are already going full detective over just a birthday, you can only imagine what else they might start pulling apart next. And that takes us right to the big climax, where all these threads of receipts, family drama, and palace silence tie into one messy knot, making the future of the monarchy look shakier than ever. So here we are, circling back to the stubborn question that will not go away. If Meghan's age is really different from the polished palace story, then what does that mean for the crown? Because this is not only about a number on a paper. It is about whether the royal image built on shiny details and perfect timelines can survive cracks showing through the surface. Every whisper left unanswered chips away at credibility, and every crack makes the crown wobble a little more, until even the most loyal fans start to wonder if they have been watching a real legacy or just a staged fairy tale dressed up in diamonds. The funny thing is how just one tiny missing detail, one skipped little explanation, can shake the whole shiny royal story, and suddenly it feels like the crown is wobbling on a stand made of paper. And the shocking part is, this is not even the first time Samantha Markle has thrown out a bomb that makes everyone gasp and question what is real or fake. And if you really want to see the bigger picture, you need to peek at what came out right before this, because those details connect the dots in ways that make this drama even more wild, messy, and hard to ignore. And here we are again at Star Spotlight, where we pull back the fancy curtain and show the secrets the palace wishes the world never found out. So sit tight, keep watching, and get ready, because this scandal is only just warming up, and it is going to explode even louder.